Good evening, everybody. Now I'm out of breath. Yes. Good evening again. Welcome to our regular scheduled board meeting tonight. Happy New Year to all of you. The time is now 6:01 p.m. and we are going to call our meeting to order. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
VP Bowman.
Present.
I'm present. Trustee Dooley.
Present.
Trustee Gross.
Present.
President Hannah.
Present.
Trustee Miller.
Present.
And Treasurer Terry.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. If we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a motion to amend the agenda to add under rewards and recognition, item A, School Board Recognition Month presentations?
So move. Support.
It's been moved by Trustee Gross, supported by Trustee Terry to amend the agenda and add under awards and recognition, School Board Recognition Month presentation. Any questions? Roll call.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley. Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
Thank you. If I can get approval for the amended agenda, please.
So moved. Support.
It's been moved by Trustee Gross, supported by Treasurer Terry to approve the amended agenda. Any questions? Roll call.
Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
President Hannah.
Yes.
Trustee Miller.
Yes.
Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
And I'm voting yes. That passes 7-0.
All right, thank you very much. All right, now on the agenda is awards and recognition. I'll pass it over to Dr. Leverett.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. Good evening, everyone. At this time, we are very excited to honor our illustrious Board of Education. They do a great job of representing students and everything that we need to do in order to make sure that our policies and procedures are followed and making sure that we are leading, our students are learning, and they are excited about education. This proclamation, certificate of proclamation from the state of Michigan, on behalf of the people of Michigan, I, Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of Michigan, do hereby proclaim January 2026 as School Board Recognition Month. Whereas Michigan is home to nearly 600 locally elected local school board members that work to enrich the lives of Michigan students through education and directly influence in instruction in Michigan's public schools. And whereas local school board members are exceptional public servants who have dedicated and committed themselves to this duty by governing school districts, listening to parent voice, and advancing student achievement and well-being in schools and the communities they serve. And whereas during this month, we join with the Michigan Association of School Boards, Michigan Department of Education, local school districts, and community organizations to recognize and raise awareness of the countless efforts and contribution of local school boards and school board members throughout Michigan. And now, therefore, Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of Michigan, does hereby proclaim January 2026 as School Board Recognition Month in Michigan. Signature, Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Continuing on with certificate of appreciation for your dedication to our children and public education in Michigan, Board President Dr. Hannah, we congratulate and thank you for your service. Certificate of appreciation for your dedication to our children and public education in Michigan, Vice President Trustee Kenyatta Bowman, we thank you for your dedication and service to Michigan's children. Certificate of appreciation for your dedication to our children and public education in Michigan, Trustee Shaquana Davis Smith, Board Secretary, we thank you for your dedication and commitment to Michigan's children. Certificate of Appreciation for your dedication to our children in public education. Board Treasurer, Trustee Marcus Terry, thank you for your commitment to the children in Michigan schools. For your dedication to our children in public education in Michigan, G. Kevin Gross, Board Trustee, we thank you for your dedication and service to Michigan children. For your dedication to our children in public education in Michigan, Board Trustee Tanisha Miller, we thank you for your dedication and service to Michigan children. For your dedication to our children in public education in Michigan, Trustee Jennifer Dooley, we thank you for your dedication and commitment to Michigan children. Please help me in honoring our board trustees at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Leverett. Better, Frank. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Leverett, and all the administration and staff. Okay, continuing on the agenda. Good evening again, trustees. Good to see you all. Can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda items?
So moved. Support.
It's been moved by Trustee Gross, supported by Treasurer Terry, to accept the consent agenda items. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gross,
Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
I'm voting yes, and Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
Thank you very much. Information from the superintendent and administration, Dr. Leverett.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. At this time, we will have a presentation. Dr. Wakabayashi, Dr. Mulder, and Principal Harris, and there may be other staff that come before us from Oakland University. We have been entered into this funds from the Spencer Foundation, and we have been entered into this partnership. I believe this is the year 3 of 5, but the goals and outcomes are directly related to students and our littlest learners, even to infants. So we have been talking, planning, and proceeding with purpose these last couple of years. And so I asked that they come and provide an update to the board on where we are with this initiative. It ties directly into our early childhood program, and I'm sure that you will be pleased at the outcomes and progress that we have made collectively as a team so far. So Dr. Wakabayashi, I normally call her Dr. Tomoko, but officially Dr. Wakabayashi, thank you and your staff for even approaching Pontiac School District. And we've been partners for a long time in various capacities, Dr. Coco. But this one, it's really near and dear, I think, to all of us that have worked so hard in the planning and preparation for what we hope is a favorable outcome in the near future for our community and families that we serve. Dr. Tomoko.
Thank you so much. I need to do something?
Just test it.
Okay. Okay, good evening. Thank you so much for having us and for us to do this update. And thank you so much for your introduction of this project. So today with me, I have a few people. So I have Coco Mulder, and then I have my colleague Shauna Boomgard, and then I have my colleague Julie Rickstonin, also from Oakland University, and then Dr. Devison will also be joining us as well. We do have Diarra Matthews here too, who is also part of our project. So thank you so much. So this is, we call it Baby Peace. Peace, of course, comes from Peace Academy. And this is our community partnership project to co-create an infant toddler childcare and resource hub at Pontiac High School. So the next, yeah. So the project is funded by the Spencer Foundation Research Practice Partnership Grant. So it is really a partnership between research and practice. That is the whole goal of the grant. And it's a community university collaboration to promote high quality infant toddler care right inside Pontiac High School. And we really wanted to make sure that that high quality is defined not just by research, but also by our community members, what they feel they want to see in this infant toddler. So it is a co-design, co-creating project. So the next. There are two goals of Baby Peace, main goals. And the first is that it will be a childcare center. So Pontiac students, teen parents, district staff, and Pontiac residents will have access to this community designed, culturally sustaining childcare program for infants through age 3. And you'll hear more about this from my colleague, Dr. Julie Rickstoning. The other one is the resource hub. So we do have the CT, the Career and Technical Education in Early Childhood. Now at Pontiac High School, it's the students actually can get some credits in early childhood from OU as well in that program. So we're hoping that the Baby Peace will be a high quality student practicum site for the students in the high school as well as for OU students. We're hoping that we could collaborate on that. We're also hoping that that place will be a diverse, enriching, and networking opportunities for everyone, including the community members. And again, you'll hear more about the resource hub from Dr. Shauna Bloomgard. Okay, so I am going to have Coco Motor.
So talking about community-led research. So the goal of this project when we first brought it to the board was to merge the relationship that Oakland University has within the community so that it's not just the university making the decisions on what happens in this resource hub, but having the community to have a say-so. And so what we did is we used community-led participatory research to approach how we design the hub. So if you have a CTE program with high school students who have a pathway, because CTE is your pathway to early childhood, then they have an opportunity in-house instead of walking out of the building to actually engage with the community at large. And so a hub is the opportunity for us as researchers to collect data through our community interviewers. So somebody like De'Ara Matthews, who is actually housed at Oakland Community College, is one of our researchers. So she's one of our interviewers. We also have some of your preschool teachers, one of the largest preschool programs in the county through Peace Academy, who are also participants by engaging with the community and interviewing the people who live here so that it's not just our say so, but the community say so. So our data is collected through interviews. We analyze that data during our meetings. We talk about it. We collaborate. So it's not just a one-sided conversation. Cynthia. So as I said, we have Pontiac community members. You have Ms. Terry, who's a preschool teacher over at Peace. You have Ms. Ortiz. You have Taylor Folks. You have Ms. Lopez. All of these are our community focus group led individuals across the city. So they know the community better than the researchers at the institution know the community. So why not have people, even though I'm born and bred here, live here too, it's always easier to have the community members lead the research because they trust the people, they're connected to the people. And so as teachers at Peace Academy, what better way than to engage with families who are taking active engagement with their current preschool. So we are 0 to 3, they're above 3. And so our goal is to reach 200 individual members of the community to have their data, and we are halfway there. So if you talk about the great work of your staff, those ladies over there who have been a part of this interviewing team are stellar. They have done a phenomenal job of reaching out to the community. And it's multicultural. So it's not just, American, but there's Hispanic, there's Arabic. So our goal is to not just be one-faced, but community-faced. Am I another page? All right. Ms. Julie.
Sorry, I'm Julie. I am involved in the Spencer Grant and the Baby Peace Project, partly because of my past experience.
Can you put the microphone closer, please? Thank
And
you.
short too, I'm involved in the Baby Peace and the particularly the childcare component of this project because of my past experiences with running programs, designing programs that are kind of innovative, and really look for that community input. On a personal note, both of my sons live in Pontiac, so if I ever get to be a grandma, I'm so excited that they will have a place to go with their babies. So that's just a little side note, but it's exciting for me to think about that as a person who owns property and has children in Pontiac that are of the age. So as you can see here, it's a demonstration infant toddler childcare, as has already been talked about. It would be for teen parents, childcare support, district staff, childcare support, and community. Would involve, as has already been said, the career and technical education students from the high school, OU students who are in the early childhood, birth to K, pre-K 3 program, just lots of really good opportunities to interact. But also importantly, as Tomoko mentioned, and Coco mentioned, it's birth to 3, feeding right into our our Peace Academy program. So it really is a nice continuity there if we can get all this started. And I would say about the resource hub too, but I think Sean is going to talk about that. And then the next slide, please. Thanks. So again, the diverse stakeholders co-designing Baby Peace. We have area childcare providers who have tuition-based or child scholarship supported families. Many of the families that might be at Baby Peace will qualify for those childcare scholarships through the state. We're going to really work hard to make sure that we have a high quality rating through our state program so that they can get the highest level of reimbursement for their children to be there. We're not sure exactly yet. This is where we're still really working on, but given what space we have and what interest we have, but I'll just say that the ratio for birth to 3 is 1 to 4. So, we're looking at potentially 12, 15 students, depending on space, to start with. And the priority is to ensure that Baby Peace adds value to the neighborhood, doesn't take away from our existing child care centers, serves a different population for a different purpose. So a lot of that community collaboration that Ms. Mulder talked about is really, really important so we can hear what people are thinking about.
This is me. All right. So we have, based on the community-led research, what we are trying to do is we are going to be focusing on the importance of teen parent child care support, as well as district staff child care support, as well as that community child care support, kind of coming all together in addition to obtaining that high school career technical education piece. So for those students that are already enrolled at PHS, they can obtain those credits, those early childhood credits through OU and through OCC. So it's kind of a nice collaboration. Pardon? Oh, next slide. Sorry. Next slide. There they are. Oh, wait, go back one. Thank you. All right. Which ultimately will lead to those teen parenting supports, those district staff parenting supports, the community parenting supports, as well as some of the resources and the referral information that we are going to be providing as well. So for example, we're trying to, have some parenting information to provide. So like, how to work with, challenging behaviors, or how to, help parents when, they're struggling. Maybe you're a single mom and you're trying to work 3 jobs and take care of 3 little people, right? It's not easy. So having some of these early childhood workshops and some of those networking opportunities for folks, I think is really going to help. And again, it's all community-based. So next slide. Thank you. So this resource hub is really going to be connecting families. And so it's really important because we have a lot of folks, and when we did We do a lot with the Pontiac Optimist Club, so we do a lot with the junior optimists. And one of the things that was addressed was the teen parents. And we want to make sure that we are supporting them. We want them to come to school. Those community members, those early childhood providers, they need some resources. Opportunities such as professional learning and other networking opportunities will be available. And that will all be based by that community-led research that we're doing. And then we're going to be utilizing the program for the high school students to learn and include student teaching practicum, so internships, work-based learning for teacher cadets. What a great program, right? All right, next slide, please. All right, and I think I'm talking a little bit about this, but I'm gonna let Dr. Devison. Is this you or me? Okay, it's me. All right, so our advisory board, and the highlighted, the darker, you can see, obviously Dr. Leverett and some of the other PSD members are located in bold, but our community-led research is with Dr. Leverett, Pastor Derek McDonald from Prospect Missionary. You can see, Dr. Coco, Dr. Tomoko. Our childcare program is, Ms. Franklin from the high school. We have Izetta Davenport, who works with Kids Corner. We have Nicole Harris, who is also the principal at Peace Academy. Again, Dr. Coco, Dr. Julie, Betsy Spiker, she's teaching over at PSD. She's over at the high school. The Resource Hub is myself, also Luz Acosta from La Casa Amiga, Dr. Devison, Dr. Noel Kelty, and Brian Sherman from Pontiac, as well as Janice Smith, who's with the Oakland Livingston Human Service Agency. And we've also got a consultant, which is Dr. Katie Sloan, who also works at OU. So thank you.
Good evening to everyone. Just wanted to start by saying this project has been very collaborative, and they've been giving us an opportunity to give our input and our knowledge. So thank you to Oakland University and the collaboration. As it relates to Pontiac, yes, okay. As it relates to what the district's role is number one, being able to provide space. The second thing is to have a co-lead and co-design of the child care program, that we are the resource hub. Thirdly, that we recommend staff, families, and students to participate in the co-design. And we were able to kind of facilitate and assist with those interviews that Dr. Coco was speaking of. Also, we are overseeing and managing the sub-award budget. We also are going to co-manage and oversee the transition of the baby piece to full implementation at the Pontiac School District. And this will include confirming budget for baby piece, utilizing state child care scholarships.
So one thing is that the grant does not fund a few things. So it will not fund the renovation of the current space, addition of outdoor play space, and some operational costs, including baby piece teacher and staff salaries, daily needs and materials, and facility use and maintenance. And we are in the process of trying to get additional funding for some of those. In terms of the renovation of current space, we feel like it will be very minimal. It won't really need to happen very much, but we are working to secure additional funds for some of the things that the grant does not fund. But these are the OU's role. So we will co-lead and co-design the childcare program and resource hub. And then the community-led research, ensure compliance with the research ethics. So Coco has been instrumental in making sure all of our interviewers, all of our advisory board members have gone through the human subjects compliance, like ethics training, to make sure that we are in compliance with that. Again, as I said, seek additional funding for program implementation costs not covered by this Spencer grant. Oversee the main grant budget for honorariums, employment of community interviewers, student assistants, interns, and initial employment of baby piece, infant, toddler teachers. So the initial employment will be through Oakland University with the grant until we do the transition hopefully with the state-funded childcare scholarship. We will, again, co-manage and oversee the transition of Baby Peace to full implementation with to Pontiac School District. And yeah, pretty much that's it. And so any questions, comments? So this QR code leads to a survey, and we would like all of the community's input on the design of the Baby Peace. So it leads to a survey that asks for, what do you think we want to see in Baby Peace? So there are handouts out there as well. But if you are able to do that for us, we would really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you. Board, are there any questions? Trustee Growth, then Treasurer Terry.
Good evening, good evening. Wonderful, wonderful program. But I do have a couple questions as it pertains to cosmetic changes, because we need changing stations for the babies, and we looked at financial reconfiguration for that, as well as food, diapers, and things like that for the children. Where are we getting that funding from?
You want to do part of it? Or?
I'll do part of it. I'll do the where we get in the stuff. That's essentially what you're asking. So we have already begun to do community-led resource attainment. So we have community members. We have nice boxes. So we had a relationship with the Junior Optimist and Optimist Club. So they took that on as one of their projects in the fall into, in the winter up until this point, where they built the boxes, designed the boxes, and put the boxes all around the high school. We put one at the public library. We put one at OU Cares. And so those boxes were the first feeder into collecting diapers, wipes, any of the incidentals that families would need for that purpose. So we are not above, our start is donations work well. You make an ask, the community, this is community led. And so the community has stepped up to say, yeah, come put a box here. We'll collect for you. We'll start doing that instead of physically, financially putting out money when you have enough resources. Pontiac is resource rich. Let's just be honest. You put an ask out, and many of the community partners are willing to help assist with the first upkeep of those donations.
And the reason I ask that, Doc, is because I don't want a parent to say, hey, I can't participate in this because I don't have diapers for my child that'll prevent me. And when you guys, if we have something supplied for them, they can utilize your services.
Absolutely.
And I don't want anything to get interference to that a parent can't get involved. And then to work out, make sure that our facilities are conducive for changing, because I know there's specific bathroom,
It's a beautiful facility.
I had
you
a
all
baby in
have.
300 years.
Yeah,
So I know
yeah.
they're changing. Does it still have changing tables?
Yeah.
Help a brother out. I'm trying
Yes.
Okay. Help me. So there's specific things that has to be done within the school to make sure
Sure.
that we can ensure that be able to change babies and things like that.
You want to respond to that?
Yeah, we are in the process of getting some funding for furniture and structures. So, like for example, changing stations, cribs, things like that. And I think our community interviewer did identify those basic needs. So what was it called?
Do they still use rocking chairs to rock the baby? You
Yeah,
sleep?
yeah.
Okay.
So those are. Yeah.
So when we say the surveys are available, what she's doing is she's volunteering everybody in the space to go ahead and scan it with your smartphones, so that if you have a suggestion,
I like that.
we're taking a suggestion that's a part of the research-led community effort. And so if there's something that the community doesn't feel we need to have there, then we take that into consideration too.
Thank you so much.
I was just going to quickly add too that I'm a scavenger. So, and I work with lots of schools out in Oakland County. So whenever I run across a center that's maybe closing down and is looking towards getting rid of some things, and if you walked in my office, you'd see there's a lot of consumables all up already. I just can't hardly get in there right now, but that's just me being and just being open to saying, oh, you guys are closing? Can we have that and that and that? And if it's in good shape, I'm not, not taking junk, but it's, and I think we all have that mindset somewhat, because we've been in programs that don't have a lot of funding, and we know how to do that.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Treasurer Terry, VP Bowman, and then Trustee Miller.
All right. Good evening once again. Thank you for the presentation. Great information. The one question I did have, I know you mentioned that this will be grant funded. Is there a timeline on how long this grant will last?
So the grant is for 3 years and it started September 2024, 94. Yeah, 2024. So we have, this is our second year. We have one more year, but the grant is really for this co-designing part to get it up and running.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it sounds like you're still in the beginning phases and getting all the pieces of the puzzle together. Do you have a timeline on when you're thinking about maybe incorporating this one?
Yeah, we
Is
do
it
have a
The
timeline.
fall or?
We're hoping to start, well, we actually did a kickoff in terms of our resource hub. So the resource hub is up and running in terms of like, we did a parent, we went to one of the parent nights at Peace Academy the other day, and yeah, so there's more coming. There's more coming in terms of like workshop series and things like, yeah.
26.
Yeah. And then the child care center, we're working to get some licensing and all that, like, in place right now. So Julie and Mrs. Harris, Nicole Harris, are working on the licensing part.
Okay. 3 years. Okay. You just got to use the funds up with before the 3 years is gone. Okay.
Right. So
Any-
ideally, Trustee Terry, we'd like to see some fruits of our labor before the end of the school year to answer.
Okay, and then
Of course, the licensing and everything are.
is this also a grant that you see in the future that will help continue the, I guess, fund this program long-term, or is this temporarily?
So the grant we have is 3 years grant for the planning and the co-designing, but we are continuing to seek funds. So
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you. VP Bowman?
Is there, I know that we're still in the process of planning and things like that, but do we have a minimum and maximum number where we would like to be as far as infants and toddlers? Do we have a number in mind?
She said 12.
Oh, okay, so the 12, that wasn't the students, but that's the, okay. Okay. All righty, thank you. And one last question, and the hours, is it during the school day only, or does it extend till the evening? What would be the potential hours of childcare time?
So you got two parts. So the co-design is the school, right? The community part, the CTE part is to secure the relationship with the students while in school. And then the hub part is the community part, which would not be during school time. So you have learning, you have co-learning, and then you have community efforts after school. So that's a relationship that has to be built with the building principal and all of that to let us know working hours, and y'all have staff stuff and all of that. Like, we have to be in compliance with you all to make sure that we are not overstepping boundaries, because when you talk community, it might not be that in the evening we need to be at the school. We might be at another facility doing another project, but the hub part is the community part. The learning part is set during school time so that the young people and the CTE kids are getting their learning time at the same time.
One last thing, with the certificate and things like that, when our students through the pathway program, are they getting like a CPR certification working with infants and things like that?
So that's a requirement. So they have to do that. But also remember, you all, the CTE pathway is the pathway to the Promise pathway. You gotta always talk about the Pontiac Promise pathway. And so the goal, that's why you see the college, pathway, is that the goal is for students to decide whether or not they see themselves after they complete the CDA or all of that, or their courses that are being taught, would they see themselves possibly coming back to work in the school district, which our hope is, right? If we talk workforce development, is that this is a full circle opportunity, not just for Pontiac, but for the teachers also to pour into that process as well. So, that learning piece is very important. That CTE early childhood process is to be treated just as if they were going to college, not like they're playing at it, so that they do end up choosing Pontiac Promise on Dollars to continue through a bachelor's degree or whatever that might be for them. They may want to run their own, preschool. We don't know. But our goal is to give them an avenue so that they can see different pathways as a result, but in-house. So Pontiac is setting an example for what that can look like, right? We want to be the example at everything that we do. So we try and be as compliant as we can be. We try and make sure that we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's so that when this goes back to the district, it's a full-on project that you all are holistically taking ownership of.
Thank you.
Trustee Miller?
All right, thank you very much for the presentation. So what I'm hearing is that this is still in the developmental stage, as far as you still need to secure licenses and things of that sort. Is there a outline and dedicated project manager or project coordinator that will be facilitating this move and facilitating that we are in compliance with everything that's required?
So the advisory board, it actually meets bi-weekly to discuss different things. So we do have leads within the advisory board who are in kind of like overseeing all of that. So Dr. Shauna Bumgard and Dr. Noel Kelty, they are kind of overseeing the resource hub.
Cynthia goes back on the slide, it'll show you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you don't have to go back. I have it right here. I'll look it up.
Yeah, can
Yes,
you?
yes, no
Yeah.
problem.
And
Okay.
the community-led research part is Dr. Leverett, me, and then Pastor McDonald is on it too. But and then Coco is our lead graduate assistant. And so she actually does a lot in terms of like communicating with the community interviewers and making sure that everyone's in compliance with the ethics for research. And then that we are on track in terms of, getting up to 200 or even more if we can, community, talking to community members. And then the licensing would be Julie and Nicole. Nicole, as you know, is the principal at Peace Academy. So she's very, knowledgeable about that. She does that all the time. And Julie used to be the director of our Lowry Center at OU. So they both have expertise in that. And on top of that, Izetta Davenport, who is the owner of Kids Corner LLC. So she's also part of, and she's very, very helpful in terms of understanding what we need to do in, with the more of the, getting the childcare scholarship from the state and things like that. So we do have very, very knowledgeable individuals in the advisory board that oversees all of that.
Well, thank you for that explanation. Do you, just two very short questions. Do you have an anticipated, like the program will start on this date? Because my concern is that what I'm hearing is that the grant was awarded in September of 2024. And after that, it's not conclusive as to how the program will be funded. So when is the anticipated actual start date?
Dr. Leverett, is that okay or?
We would anticipate it starting before the end of this school year. We are still in the process, Trustee Miller, of those discussions. As we said, we know it's an early start, but we also want to finish strong. But we know that there are some other pieces that need to come together for this to be viable. So I don't have an exact start date as of yet.
Okay. Will there be summer hours as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
And if so, who will incur, will that be in accordance with the grant funding as well, because it would incur staffing and facility usage?
I don't think I have very specific answers for you, and part of this is coming from our community interviews and our input from, when Coco was describing the CTE program would be during school hours.
Mhm.
Our OU student involvement would be during school hours. But we are listening when people say, but I also want to work. We won't start with that as our main programmatic, because we want to start it within the school, with the CTE students, with the OU students. But we can't ignore if people bring that up and consider it down the road.
I understand.
But that's not how we're thinking about starting. We're
Okay,
talking
thank
school
you.
day. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. The only other thing I was going to say is at OU, part of my role is for all clinical placements. So somebody asked about CPR. CPR, yes. Michigan Registry Health and Safety Modules 1, 2, 3, yes. Bloodborne pathogen training, yes. And those CTE students, so that's just part of the requirements. And so we make sure that they get through safe sleep, infant safe sleep, infant shaken baby syndrome, everything that's required for licensing, we will incorporate either in the CTE classes or the OU classes. We already do. So I just wanted to, put that assurance out there. The students that are involved there's no wiggle room there.
Okay.
They have to have all those things.
Awesome. And actually, that was Trustee VP Bowman's question. So I do have one more question. Is there any data that support the success of a program of this magnitude? Any data from another district or a similar program that shows a success rate as far as what the goals of the program are for the district? Is there any data that supports how successful this program has been or should be from other districts or districts that have adopted this type of program?
So we did survey the CTE programs to see if they have any similar programs within in Michigan. We did hear back from about 6, and we are in the process of interviewing them to see, what are some of the things that we should, keep in mind in terms of lessons learned, because, if they already had that. But so far, there are at least 6 programs that have childcare programs within the high school building is what we got response from. So there are, I think Birmingham has one. Yeah. Clarkston has one. Yeah. So there are a few. Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you for answering my questions.
Trustee Dooley?
And thank you again for the presentation. I just point of clarity. You said there would be only 12. What was that, 12, Dr. Mulder? Just 12, though.
12 to start, yes.
So now I think I heard someone talk about the funding will be in question because the initial grant was provided for 2024, 25, and we're now in 26, and the program has yet to be implemented. Am I correct? You have not actually started attending the program, facilitating in its
The physical body
the
of the
physical
program, is
bodies
it-
and everything. Also, if memory serves me right, I'm getting a little older. You stated that the building will have to be transitioned, not the building, but the classroom being used would have to be transitioned because this is a high school building and we're talking about infants, am I correct?
So we did not say we had an issue with transition. We never said that.
No, I'm not saying you said it. So we have to change that over. Would I be correct? In order for,
No, we need to move the current space back into an infant and toddler space. The space that we currently have is an infant and toddler space.
so where you're planning to move, if I'm correct, that's currently being utilized by our challenge students, if I will. Am I correct?
That would be an answer from the district.
Dr. Leverett.
Yeah, yes.
And
So-
then there has been
Oh, let me.
talk
finish.
regarding displacing those students for a program that is not definitive. Because if I'm hearing right, this program may not, they have tentative plans to seek additional funding to implement this to fruition. But right now, it's as if they're not quite sure that they don't know where the funding is coming from definitively. So we're going to displace our current students who are challenged from their area, and they've been there almost all year. Is that the plan? I'm talking to Dr. Leverett.
And I would like to defer to Dr. Devison. Let me just preface this entire conversation by saying that I felt that it was important for me to invite our partners from Oakland University this evening to give an update. And so while all of the pieces aren't in place, we are providing a progress report to you on what has been established up to date. So I can tell you that up until this point, myself personally, along with Dr. Devison, along with partners from Oakland University, including Marvin Beasley from facilities, we have visited along with Ashley, we have visited the space at Pontiac High School. We have had conversations with Mrs. Clark Franklin, the principal at Pontiac High School, about where this will be. So again, let me be clear, this was not a direction that happened haphazardly, without planning or without forethought. So with that, I think it's important that I ask Dr. Devison to provide some more clarity, because I directed her to work closely with Dr. Tomoko and her staff as part of this project. Dr. Devison, please.
So I heard a couple of things that, one, I feel are definitely directly to the Pontiac School District. And then I also heard another question that was directly towards Oakland University. So as it relates to the planning and are we sure, that was Oakland University, and they are 100% sure, correct? Okay, so that
Sure
was
about what?
the funding.
That's not, I don't think that's
So you
accurate.
asked, I want to make sure that you asked two questions. Can you restate those questions?
One of the questions was, where will the funding come? How, if you had to give me a percentage, are you like 99.8% that you're going to receive additional funding once the current grant is?
So I'm speaking for them, but they are saying yes. So that was one question. And then the second question, if I'm not mistaken, is that you asked about the space. So the one thing that I want to be clear, Trustee Dooley, is that last year in 2025, at the end of the school year, we did a walkthrough with the special education teachers at the high school, and we talked about alternative locations, and they were aware that this day was coming. So we gave notice, we asked questions, we asked, is there any objections? And so we had this dialogue and conversation around this. So as we are here today, they were well aware of is the special education population. The 2 classrooms were notified and given notice, and also given the supplies. And please note, I had an open door policy. I spoke specifically to both teachers, and we were in agreement that there was going to be a move. We showed the rooms and locations.
I yield.
Thank you.
Trustee Miller?
Thank you. I have a follow-up question after Trustee Dooley's question. I am a bit concerned about compliance as it relates to our students with special needs that have been acclimated to this particular part of the building. I'm unaware of what the actual, I don't know what actually took place. Are we maintaining compliance with the needs of the students that are being potentially displaced as a result of the program? And and not challenging your efforts and your work, it was there. My biggest concern is that I feel that I was unaware of the displacement. Displacing our special needs students could set them back. I'm not a special needs teacher, but is there not another area in the high school that could accommodate this program? So one question, are we in compliance with the students that we will be displacing potentially? And two, is there, in order to prevent the displacement of our students, our special needs students, is there an area that could potentially be used throughout the start of the program so our students won't be, their education and their development won't be interrupted in the middle of the school year?
So no, yes, we are in compliance. That was the first question that you asked. And then the second space is, as it relates to Baby Peace, those 2 rooms are the rooms that would be the most beneficial for the Baby Peace program.
Dr. Davidson, is there a reason why we didn't continue on since we moved the students from the original piece over at Frost, that's what I call it, and we moved them over to WHRC here in this building somewhere? Why would we not facilitate a continuance? Are you going to build a play space for them outside? I think it's a couple of things that they would have to have for us to be in regulations to.
Are you talking about Baby Peace, or are you talking about the special education
Baby
classroom?
Peace too, because wouldn't we have to give them some kind of area? I guess I'm just concerned about 2 things. That we're going to bring the smaller children over to the high school with the bigger children. And then the other real concern is displacing our special needs, because those students tend to get locked into a routine. And when their routine is disrupted, it takes a minute to get them back into a schedule, if I will. So I was just wondering, a lot of times I've seen, since I've been on the board, we have wonderful ideas and we're doing good in some areas and good in other areas, and I'm gonna leave it like that. But I don't think we take enough of time to truly investigate. So I'm just saying to you, if you and your committee, I didn't really know anything about Baby Peace until I read this bear. So I just would like us to look at things a little more, involve all stakeholders. But I really would like that to be, what can I say? Just a little more diligently, that we do our homework. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess my problem is, Dr. Davidson, I'm getting too many calls that's asking me about these things. And then when I kind of look into them, they don't necessarily correlate to what we're saying here. So that's all I'm saying. We need to give a little more. And that's not even technically to you, that goes to our superintendent, in all honesty, seriously.
So I would say duly noted. And I do want to say that we have been presenting Baby Peace at the board meeting. So this is not new information. So duly noted.
And no pun intended.
All right. All right, thank you. Any more comments? Did you have something? Secretary Davis Smith.
I just had one question. So for the Baby Peace, will the parents be able to come through a separate door where it's going straight to them? Okay. That's all I want.
Yes. I just want to make sure the community hears the response. Okay.
Thank you. And I don't have a question for the presentation, but I did want to just give a comment. And I'm sorry that Trustee Dooley, this project has been ongoing, and I think that we may have begun conversations last year before our trustees were on the board. But I'm excited at the progress that you all have made, because I remember when this was just a conversation and how we could equip or add more programming to our CTE department. So once those conversations started, and now here we are today, I'm happy with the progress that has been made. And I know we still have ways to go, but I think this is a great addition to our CTE program to allow our students to be exposed to this. And it also is a resource for our students that have young children or may be expecting, and we have another opportunity to provide a resource for them too. So I just wanted to say I commend you on the progress that you've made. Okay, sorry, I don't know why I'm getting all the static. All right, there we go. All right, moving down, if there's no more questions for our OU Baby Peace project, thank you guys again for being here, and thank you for your partnership with the school district. All right, next on our agenda will be General Counsel and Human Resources, Dr. Leverett. Meeting is yours.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Hannah. At this time, I will turn it over to our Interim Executive Director of Human Resources. This is for discussion and action. This is a new contract. Ashley, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh, y'all, we trying to make it to the weekend already. I apologize. Happy Monday. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to the weekend again. So today I'm here to present a candidate recommendation for hire for our assistant principal position over at Pontiac High School, a candidate by the name of Mr. Anthony Jackson. It is the recommendation of administration that Mr. Anthony Jackson be appointed the assistant principal at Pontiac High School. The proposed 2025-2026 contract will secure Mr. Jackson's services at the rate of $103,330.53. Assistant principal, step 5 of the passive salary table. This position is covered under the passive collective bargaining unit. It is the recommendation of administration that the Board of Education discuss and move to action the contract of Mr. Anthony Jackson as assistant principal effective January 12th, 2026 through June 30th, 2026. Again, at the rate of $103,330.53. We also have Mr. Jackson here and Principal Clark Franklin from Pontiac High School.
Thank you very much, Ashley. Board, are there any questions?
Absolutely.
Okay, Trustee Dooley.
Ashley, what is the prorated amount that you, that he would get? Because he certainly would not receive the $103,000 at this point.
Absolutely. So that is determined based on his actual start date. I can get that information to you.
You have it. It says.
Well, that's just the effective date of the contract. His start date will be determined.
No, so that would be, if you have a contract date, then we have a price. What's the proration of the 103? Because we certainly wouldn't pay him the entire 103 coming in.
You're correct. It is a prorated amount based on the remaining work days through June 30th of this school year. I'll be happy to get you that information on what the prorated contract will look like.
I yield.
Any other questions, trustees?
I gotta go back. Excuse me. This is still discussion, I'm sorry. Just for the record, our teachers remain without a contract, and I will be voting no, because I am in support of our teachers. I don't see where we should move in to bring additional administration at this level, and our teachers have not, their contract has not been satisfied.
Okay, Trustee Miller.
Hi. I have, can you explain the rationale and how I can justify having 2 assistant principals and 1 principal in the high school with approximately 700 students, you would say? 700 students at Pontiac High?
So that position is not new. It's we had a resignation and we are filling a vacancy. So if it was felt that there was no need for that assistant principal role, then that would have been communicated, but that was not. There was a definite need to fill it based on the current administration at the Pontiac High School and our curriculum and instruction department.
Well, I'm sorry for asking you directly that question. Can anybody in administration justify why, with approximately, I'm assuming 700 students at the high, why we need 2 assistant principals and 1 principal? And I'm asking that question, and I've addressed this, that my concern is when you include benefits and salary, at a high school that's less than 40% occupied, that continue to makes us top heavy administratively, not directed towards you. That's why I asked if anyone in administration. I understand we did have a vacancy. I have advocated in the past for us to realign our resources to better meet the needs of our students. And I just want to know, what is the justification and the reason behind having 2 assistant principals and I'm gonna wait for the rest of the chatter. I'm gonna wait. 2 assistant principals and 1 principal in a high school with approximately 700 students. Is there a requirement as far as administrators per pupil? I just would like to understand how I can justify making a decision that will be upwards in the, $700,000 with benefits, salary for 3 administrators in 1 building. Or somebody give me a number. If I'm wrong, okay, let's just say, I don't know, 400,000, 500,000. I'm just putting a number out there to make sure that to make sure that we are using our resources effectively. I have a question, and if I don't have an answer tonight, it's okay. But if someone can follow up with me, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
Trustee Dooley, Dr. Leverett or her administration will follow up with you regarding that. Any other questions? Okay. Action item. Can I get a motion for the approval of the assistant principal position at Pontiac High School for
So
Anthony
moved.
Jackson?
Support.
It's been moved by Trustee Gross, supported by Treasurer Terry, for the approval of the assistant principal at Pontiac High School, Mr. Anthony Jackson. Any questions?
I have a comment. I appreciate our applicant, and I'm sure that he will continue to do great things here for the school district of Pontiac. I just have some uncertainty as it relates to the necessity of having 2 assistant principals and 1 principal, making us even more top-heavy administratively than we are currently. So for that reason, I would like for us to redistribute and reallocate our funds to better meet the needs of our student and improve culture and climate. Thank you.
Trustee Dooley, did you have a comment?
I do. I have a question, actually. How many in-house teachers or applicants applied for this position that were qualified? Did we have any in-house people already employed in the district? So, because we don't tend to promote within. So that's my question. How many qualified applicants applied for this position? And this is certainly no offense to you, within the district, Ashley?
1.
We only had 1, and did that person even get a second interview?
Yes.
So my last question, was that person a male or female?
I'm not sure. I'll be able to get that information. I'm not sure if that's something that we would discuss here. The candidate that we are bringing forth is the candidate that has been selected for recommendation.
Yes. Thank you, Ashley. No, if there are any more questions, can I get a vote? Madam Secretary, please.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
No.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley,
Unequivocally, no, until these teachers
And-
get a contract.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
That passes 5-2.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anthony Jackson. Welcome to the Pontiac School District. The mic, if you want to have a few words. I still hear it.
Good evening, board. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone. I especially like to thank you all for your fervor and for your belief in the school district. Hopefully I can come in and be something that you'll be proud of eventually. I believe in children. I believe in student achievement. And I am very, very excited to be here. So I just want to thank you. I heard some people just say, welcome to the district as I walked up. I love teachers. I'm a teacher myself, a teacher at heart. And so I'm glad to be here and I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions for me? Okay.
Yeah, I just had one issue, man. You pledged this fraternity, man, Kappa Alpha Psi. I looked at the resume like, no,
Yo.
Thank you.
I had one as well. Mr. Jackson. I just want to, beyond my my comments, I want to firmly congratulate you and welcome to the Pontiac School District. I did look over your information and I appreciate your diligence in wanting to come to and serve our students and be a part of this community. And I look forward to seeing your ideas that you will bring forth. I see that you worked at some charter schools. So I look forward to ideas and things that you will implement for our students here in Pontiac School District.
And I want to thank you too, because I understand and I respect your fervor and I respect where you coming from, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you. I
very
appreciate
much.
that. That means a
Thank
lot.
you
I
very
appreciate
much.
you. Thank you
And
very
I
much.
also would like to welcome you because you look as if you are going to be an excellent role model for our male. I'm not going to just limit it to Black males, but the males, because if you look around the district, it's predominantly female. And I also want you to know that my voting against you is not anything towards you. It is dealing with our financial situation that you're coming in, but you're certainly welcome. You have my support, but right now, until we get a forensic audit, just go back and watch our meetings. I'm not voting for anything until we get to see what's going on number-wise.
And I'm still representing you. I still got your back.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is curriculum and instruction. Dr. Leverett.
Thank you, Dr. Hannah. We are very excited. We have a presentation, curriculum and instruction updates with Owen Elementary and Alcott Elementary. Dr. Devison, thank you.
Good evening again. I'm always excited to stand before you to talk about schools and the positive things that are going on in the schools. So on tonight, we have Owen Elementary and Alcott Elementary. And so I'll have the two principals come report, and that's Ms. Berdina Johnson and also Dr. Suzanne Kavanaugh.
Good evening, good evening.
Good evening, trustees. Mr. Jackson, welcome. The PASA welcomes you. Good evening. Ms. Johnson and I are here to discuss what is exciting going on at Alcott and Owen Elementary. I believe my slides are first. We will start with our enrollment. Currently, enrollment at Owen Elementary is 342 students. You can see the numbers, 169 male, 173 female. Our largest number of students does fall in the 3rd and 4th grades. It is deceiving. It looks as though kindergarten is one of our highest. However, that includes our special needs population. Owen Elementary has 18 classrooms. 12 of those are K-5 general education, and 6 of those are self-contained special needs classrooms, 5 of them being autistic classrooms and 1 of them being cognitive impaired. So those kindergarten and 1st grade numbers are higher because we have a significant number of students in those self-contained classrooms that don't fall in the gen ed classrooms. Thank you. Our attendance has been much better this year than last year. We averaged about 83%. We've had multiple days in and above the 90% range this year. I think part of that is due to the fact that we have had a lot of students return back to their home school in district. Owen did have a large number of students that were coming to us from other schools, whether it be Elcott or Rogers. When we had a lot of the construction going on, a lot of families did choose to come to Owen during that construction time, and they were driving students to school as opposed to them riding buses. And so now that a lot of our students are able to ride buses, we do have more of them coming to school. For attendance, yeah, we do a lot of incentives too. One of the things our lead teachers came up with this year, specifically in the K2, we were charged with coming up with some incentives, and one of the things they are doing is following the everyday counts motto that we have for our school district. And so they put a letter up on the board every day that they get perfect attendance in their classroom. And when it says every day counts, the kids can choose a pizza party, ice cream party, or some other kind of treat for the classroom. And so that's really incentivized the students to want to be there. And I'll show pictures later of some of our other attendance incentives that we do, but that was one that the teachers came up with that I'm really proud of because it came from the staff and it came from the students. And so they're really pushing the charge with that. And we celebrate every day each class that has perfect attendance over the PA announcements. Thank you. Okay, for our MyKIP goals, we are maintaining the same goals we had last year with just one change in mathematics. So we're continuing on with looking at our phonics data and doing differentiated phonics instruction. We saw a significant improvement in 4th and 5th grade, especially last year with our reading scores, because generally 4th and 5th grade does not get phonics. It goes K through 3, but at Owen Elementary, we do phonics in K5. We had all of the teachers trained, and so we do differentiated phonics groups on top of their normal in-class phonics instruction. We found that with COVID, a lot of students missed, our 3rd and 4th graders last year, this year's 4th and 5th graders missed critical phonics instruction in 1st and 2nd grade kindergarten. And so they were struggling in reading. And so that's why we decided to do phonics K5 to try to really get them those skills before they moved on to middle school. And we have seen, last year we saw our 4th grade had 2 years growth in reading and iReady. And that was, we truly believe, due to the phonics instruction. So we're continuing that this year. So they receive additional small group center-based instruction, specifically around vocabulary, high-frequency words, writing skills. Our students are really struggling with writing because, again, in kindergarten and 1st grade, they missed that hand-over-hand instruction because they were virtual. And so when you don't have an adult or a helper or an aide in the classroom teaching you how to write your letters, now in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, they're really struggling with that still. So we're continuing that instruction through our phonics groups. And again, really continuing to focus with our 4th and 5th graders. With the math goals, again, looking at that iReady data, we need that, and that says phonics, but it should be math, really looking at that skill-based instruction on basic math, facts, and functions. Going back old school, like we used to with the flashcards and with the games and with the multiplication tables, because those are the things the kids are lacking. And when they get to middle school and they have to do pre-algebra, if they can't do fractions and if they can't do multiplication and division, they're really going to struggle with the algebra. And so that's what we're focusing on. This year we decided, since the phonics groups worked so good, we're pushing that out in mathematics as well. So beginning in November, we took our iReady data from September, October, and we separated the students into math groups as well. And so now, not just in the morning for phonics do kids change classrooms and go to their apple or their banana or their strawberry group, but now in the afternoon, they also have a group for mathematics where they change around and students are instructed at their level. So all the kids in the room for that 30 minutes have the same need based on what their iReady said their skill level is. And the teachers are using the iReady teacher lessons that are already prepared in there. They don't have to do extra planning. They just have to print the lessons that are already prepared in iReady for them and work with that group of students that all have the same skill need. We are continuing to focus on Math Essential 5 and 6, intentionally selecting and implementing cognitively demanding mathematical tasks. Specifically, we're doing that through our curriculum that's already embedded in our everyday math curriculum that we're using. And then skill 6, engaging children regularly in interactive number sense routines, focused on developing their mental strategies for seeing quantities and working flexibly with numbers. Those are the 2 things that we're really focusing on in our core curriculum. So again, I talked about the celebrations, and so we do 2 things every month that I'm really proud of: the Phoenix Fun Days and the Character Champions. Character Champions is 4 characteristics that our teachers select from the classroom, whether it's an academic scholar, a kind, caring, and responsible, someone who has been most improved for the month, and the teachers select 4 students, 1 for each characteristic. We call them up. It's a Friday morning. We call them up in the cafeteria during breakfast time. We award them their medals and their certificates in front of all of their peers. And then at lunchtime, they come and they eat for 15 minutes, and then they get to go up on the stage. We have a little carnival set up, and they get to play at the carnival then for about 15, 20 minutes on the stage as well to celebrate being a strong character. And it's something that is really important to celebrate specific character traits that we want our children to exhibit. And so we do that every month with our students. And then we do our Phoenix Fun Days, and that's students who have met their behavior, academic, and attendance goals for the month. So they've got the number of lessons they had to complete on iReady. They have to stay 2 or less absences for the month, or they have to have not been basically in the office and received a discipline referral. Then they can go to Phoenix Fun Days. Usually about between 50 and 75% of each class meets that goal. And so we do it in 2 sessions. We do a K2 session for 40 minutes, and then we do a 3-5 session for 40 minutes. And the kids get to do things like play soccer. They love playing with the giant cups. You can see they're playing with the parachute down there. You can see the character champion certificates that we give out as well. So we try to do different things throughout the month, but these are the 2 that the kids love the most. And then also, of course, they love celebrating like the big kids do. One of the benefits of having been a high school principal is I bring Spirit Week to the elementary, and they absolutely love doing the same things the big kids do. Their very favorite game to play, we have a student council, and the student council selected the Spirit Week. So there's one person from each classroom represents a student council, and the kids came together and they decided what games they wanted to play. They decided, one of them was hide and seek. They picked hide and seek. It took me a minute to figure out how to play hide and seek with the whole school, but what we did was hide and seek the principal. So I went and I gave clues, and there was a team, and so there were 5 teams, and then I went and hid in places throughout the school, and they had to figure out the clue to figure out where I was, and the teams would come and find me, and so the winning team won slushies. So we do things like that, but we let them pick the games. And so one day they wanted to dress like a teacher for Spirit Week. So that middle picture is what our children think we look like when we come to work. That's how they dress like a teacher. And that, of course, they love the Wrap the Mummy game. That's one of their favorites. And so the teachers for each grade level pair off, and then they have 4 kids that wrap them up like a mummy. And the winning students, they get slushies as well, because we have the slushie machine for our PBIS. And so that's one of our big, that's a big draw for the kids. We also this year started for reward. We were having a lot of bus issues. Behavior on the bus, behavior lining up for the bus. And so the teachers and the behavior interventionists came to me and said, we have to do something. We've got to have a reward. And since the slushies were working so well with cafeteria behavior, we decided to apply that to bus. And so every day they have the opportunity to earn a patch if they've been good in line. If they don't get any bus referrals from the bus driver, then they can earn a patch on the wall. And on the 15th of every month, whichever bus or the pickup line can also earn patches. Whichever group has the most patches, they win the slushies for the month. And so it's definitely a competition, and it's posted right on the hallway so they can all see how many patches they have at any given day. We also, of course, celebrated Hispanic Heritage Month. We had a Venezuelan author, you can see in the middle. He came and actually read to the students from his books. And of course, Ms. Carmen always comes and participates in our celebration. Ms. Guzman, you can see her there reading. And then our students this year put on a celebration. We had a 5-piece mariachi band that came from a church and played for us. But also our students presented characters in history, Hispanic heritage characters in history. And each student was dressed like their character, presented their character, and they were very proud of their work. Okay, thank you very much.
Great job.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome to PASA, Mr. Jackson. We're glad to have you. Before I begin, I just have to do this. May I please have all of the Alcott family members please stand? I'm sorry, my people show up. And I say to you, up, up, and away. For a great school day. And that's how we start our days at Alcott. So our mantra defines who we are and what we're doing every day. So that is a part of our theme for this school year and how we decided that we are going to characterize our days. So it's a picture of our staff as we prepared for a great school year. As you can see, our enrollment has taken a shift really over the last couple of years. I have a significant large amount of male students this school year and last school year than I've had previously. If you can see the breakdown by also demographics, we are currently at 44 45% African American, 44.4 exactly, and 43.3% Latino Hispanic students. That number actually at the beginning of the year was a bit higher, but we've had some transitions, as you know. We don't have to really talk about that, but quite a bit of transitions. And then also there's been some transition in the district where some communities are shifting their location. So we're seeing that to affect our population to a significant amount, but still comforting our families, still letting our families know they are welcome at our school and that is their place and space and we are there for them. So this is our attendance data for first and second semester up until December. And first semester, well, let me say this too. As a part of our goal, as a part of our goals for the school year, our staff, we all come together and they'll tell you, and we make decisions on what our goals look like. So first semester, we were moving in a really good direction, trying to get that 85%, which is our goal, with a few ups and downs. And then second semester, we're kind of still having that little bit of an issue with students leaving and coming, but we're still able to maintain 84% attendance for second semester. Now, our attendance, so we do a lot, just like Dr. Kavanaugh, we shout out the class with the best attendance every day. And teachers, they let me know who has perfect attendance. Then also by week, the class with the best attendance is recognized, is posted. We have a board for it and we post it. Our students encourage one another and you'll hear them say, you got to come to school, you have to come to school. So it's really, really important. And I say it every day, every morning and every afternoon that our students, we need you here, we want you here to make sure that you're coming to school. Additionally, we have a very strong Phoenix Intervention Center that houses our behavior interventionist and our school social worker who are very active in contacting parents when kids are not there, 1-2 days and beyond. So we're very committed to having the kids come to school. In terms of our MyKIP goals, we kept a lot of our goals, but we needed to shift a little bit in terms of some things that we identified as a result of our testing data and as a result of the work that we were doing from inside the building that affected our local assessment, then affected the state assessment. So again, we're keeping our reading focus with comprehension, literature, and informational text and vocabulary. That significantly is impacted during intervention and instruction and whole group instructional time. Numbers and operations and algebra and algebraic thinking in our math, making sure that we're utilizing opportunities for students to have tangible hands-on opportunities to express themselves with math games. And also when they are being assigned specific lessons, just like in iReady, to address their specific needs in those areas where they have deficits. One thing that we hold fast to is making sure that we are having goal-setting conversations with our students. So where it says after the beginning year diagnostic, and then now we're right now starting our mid-year diagnostic, we're having those goal conversations. But not just then, the teachers are having those conversations every month. I put out a weekly update, and then I'll say in the weekly update, we need to have goals posted by, and I'll give them a date. And so when you come to Alcott and you walk down the classroom, you might see on Ms. Melicio's door, she has a big chart and it might have the kid's goal, or Mr. Wilson's door. Ms. Bobby has little different color stickies with the kids' goals on there. And those are goals that they're having the conversation with the teachers about because they know what they've attained and now where they're gonna go. I've talked to my kindergarten teachers and I think my third grade teachers about moving that up and giving kids a physical, tangible chart where they can chart how they're progressing with their monthly goal and making a chart, just a bar graph, so that they can be in touch with what they want to accomplish. What's really important too, and we've probably about 3 years now, we work with Kristen for 2, but 3 years now, it's been important that we are aligning the work that we do every day so that I can statement that's gonna tell the child what they'll be able to do is going to align and be beneficial to the actual lesson task and activity and to the actual standard for the lesson. All those things have to align so that we can continue to increase the rigor. If we don't increase the rigor, we can't have them meet high level expectations, and that's our goal. So that's a significant focus for us this school year. As I said, we come together as a staff, and sometimes we haggle through it. It may take us 1 or 2 meetings to determine what our actual goals are going to be. So we bumped our goal just a little bit this year so that our students are increasing by 70% or better for their typical growth, and those students who have already met that are increasing by 25% or greater. Even though we struggled with our attendance goal last year's second semester, we struggled. There was a lot of change happening in the country. We decided we weren't going to move off of it, and we were going to continue to keep that 90% goal for our school. Our culture and climate goals, we usually meet those, so it's super important every day the students do a check-in, just so we can find out where they are. You know, additionally, our staff, my behavior interventionist and Ms. Taylor, our social worker, they greet the students every morning when they're coming through the door. So if somebody's having a crying spell or something's happening, they're going to address it right then. But also it'll show up when they get into their classroom and they do their check-in and they're yellow or they're red. And so we're able to address that and we document it so that we can we can really see the type of work that we need to do with them in terms of groups, or if they just need to have a check-in. And I want to say this. At Alcott, we have put a lot of time and energy into our PBIS program. Our matrix is solid. We have received over an 80% rating in our TFI from Oakland schools now for 2 years in a row. With that being said, Oakland Schools has invited my team to come on January 21st to present to all of the schools that are there taking their course in PBIS.
All right. Great job.
So lots of work. It's hard, but it's a lot of work. So just like we present the goals for our staff and our school, we also gave our parents a goal. And we remind them of those goals when we have our monthly parent meetings or when our parents come to the building, so they know that they have to check backpacks. You need to be in touch with the teachers, see your kids, be here, come and find out what's happening. Before I talk about those pictures, that work that we've done with PBIS, we've been able to really transform it. In our learning from the PBIS piece of Oakland Schools and the work that we've done and studied, we decided to incorporate what's called SOAR cards, because that's our acronym for the positive behavior and intervention and support. So our children earn SOAR cards for iReady, homework, attendance, behavior, all those things. And so monthly they have a SOAR, they actually have a SOAR celebration every month. And they really look forward to it. Now, in order to receive a golden ticket, which is not a SOAR card, Principal Johnson has to give you a golden ticket. That's because you've taken that matrix and you took it to another level, that you did something to really affect the school building. So they all look forward to that, and we're able to celebrate them with that. Additionally, we have what is called our character board. And so we've themed each month, and the students have to demonstrate something that they're going to, they demonstrate something that matches what that theme is. And so they are rewarded bi-weekly on what's considered our SOAR cart that comes around the building. What you see here is an opportunity through CTE. Our students were able to go and visit the STEMI truck. They had a great time. They talked about that for quite a while. And then additionally, our students were able to go and visit Cranbrook and do some investigative science work, which they truly, truly enjoyed. I'd like that they can get out of the building and have those external opportunities, because sometimes they don't have any idea what they're going to learn, and they always come back excited. And then here are just some building celebrations, our holiday extravaganza. It was awesome this year. And then also we had a harvest trip the students were able to take. And of course, we always celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. We try to celebrate all of our cultures in the building by some way or some form of recognizing them, because everybody has to know that that is their home, that is their space, and that's their place, and they belong. This year, Miss Bobby, who's in the audience, well, it was last year, who's in the audience, she received the MEMA grant. So we were able to celebrate that also. Our students were able to participate in the Pontiac High School homecoming parade. Look at Dr. Leverett during trunk or treat. We were cold and she was out there, we were getting it in. That was a fun time. And then of course, our students always dress up and celebrate the holidays. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you. Trustees, did you have any, Trustee Miller?
Ms. Johnson, thank you, and Ms. Kavanaugh, thank you both for what you do for our students, for this community, especially our little students, our small little phoenixes. Ms. Johnson, I was especially excited to see the parent goals because I truly believe that education and the formation of a student starts at home. I was just curious, how, you said you had parent twice a month for parent meetings?
No, I did not.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
said
wrong.
once a month.
I'm trying to have you have an extra meeting.
You are.
I'm sorry about that. Once a month. How has your attendance been at the parent meetings? Have they been coming out and participating?
So it's kind of taken a little dip in the valley. At the beginning of the year, it was awesome and outstanding. Ms. Dooley came to our open house. She can tell you it was so many parents there. It was really a really good turnout. And then in October, we had a decent turnout. But come November, we've had a bit of a dip. And we've had some conversation, even in our performance management with Dr. Alisea, just getting the word out to our parents to assure them they can come. It's a safe space and place for them. I always try to make the meetings about them. I give them information, but small information about what's happening in school. I try to make it something that's interesting and important to them in rearing their children and the benefit of having them there at school.
That's all I have. I thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And Trustee
I
Dooley?
think one of the important things about parent meeting, because we all do them every month, all the principals do, and what I found with turnout for parent meeting is, like Principal Johnson said, what we offer them, but making it something that matters to them. Cold weather is hard. A lot of our parents in her community and mine are walkers, and a lot of them don't have vehicles. And so when the weather turns bad, if we have a great event and then all of a sudden we have a thunderstorm, we'll have 5 people show up. But when the weather's good, we're getting 25% of our parents showing up. And Ms. Perez has been great with grant money, helping us with the parent, funding for our parent nights. And so we are able to offer them a meal or a snack, or even we're having next month, actually next Tuesday at Owen, we're having a community event. And so the behavior people and the social worker have reached out to community organizations that are going to have tables at our building next Tuesday night from 5:30 to 6:30 at Owen Elementary. And you don't have to be an Owen parent to be there. Community organizations will be available for you. And just having those community organizations, that's something the parents come for, because especially this time of year when it's cold and they're hungry and the power's not working, they need that help. And so it's really about what we're offering our parents that gets them in the door.
Understandably, there'll be some challenges, but thank you for your diligence in continuing the parent meetings with, even if you get 1 or 2 parents, just don't quit on them and just continue with the meetings. So thank you very much.
Trustee Dooley?
Yes, that parental compact piece is very important to involve the parents in the students' learning. But to Principal Johnson, yes, I did enjoy coming over to your school, and you did have a good open house. However, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge Dr. Powell had also a good one. And if anyone knows anything about Dr. Powell, she likes to feed those people. Not those people, you know what I mean, the parents and students. So they had a great time interacting. She had a full house. Truly, she had a full house. So I commend, and I'm sure the rest, I went to a couple of more, but those 2 stick out that were really done well. So I commend you. And then I'm going to call her Bernina because we were colleagues. We worked together. Principal Johnson, I know her ability, and I'm confident she had to transition from high school to elementary. So I know that's had to be, because it would be one for me. So I commend you. Stay with it. Retirement is great. See you on the other side.
I have to do this, I'm sorry. Because we don't get very many opportunities, I'm very compelled to say this. I lost my stepson November 30th due to suicide. And so my December was real tough. I mean, it was tough. But when I tell you Alcott didn't miss a beat, those teachers, my secretary, my behavior interventionists, I have to publicly acknowledge that they ran that building and they kept me together and they lifted us up, and our parents knew nothing different was happening. So thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to ditto those sentiments as it relates to Ms. Johnson and at Alcott School, in addition to just lifting up the Leadership Academy, that we had guest principals that could serve in and at Alcott during that time. And also wanted to just end with all of the schools have family engagement nights monthly. And you were shared the family engagement calendar, so you can always join a family engagement night. And thank you so much for allowing us to serve.
Thank you. Did VP Bowman, did you have a comment? And then I do have a comment and question. No, you go ahead.
I can save it until my public comment. No, I'll go. Principals and staff, thank you for all that you do for our families and students. Seeing these reports, seeing how our students and families get to celebrate being a part of the Pontiac School District and making it fun and meaningful to come to school, and knowing that you all make the extra effort to point out family and the importance of working together. So I just wanted to say, thank you for the work that you all do, because I know oftentimes it seems as if we aren't attentive to what's going on, but thank you. And it was a great presentation from both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, VP Bowman. I did want to share Dr. Kavanaugh and Ms. Johnson, great presentations. In fact, I love what you're doing with having your students involved in the goal settings for their class, the incentives and activities that you're doing to engage the students in learning, and just to promote attendance to get them there. And of course, the parent goals. I love it. And I was wondering, do kids still have homework, and do they have their backpacks? So to see, yes, absolutely, kids still have homework. But something that you said that really stuck with me and made me think is that you reminded us that these students that are in 5th grade now, these are the students that missed their kindergarten or part of their 1st grade learning. And that is huge, because when we start talking about data, and when we start talking about our students transitioning to middle school, there's a big skill gap that was lost. And so I heard you say that you were going back to old school, doing some of those things that you worked. And one of those things that I can remember is writing. And you mentioned that is where there is a big gap, or they're insufficient in that area. And that is so important, because when these kids go to 6th grade, they have to write. And if they can't write at that age, then what is the expectation when they get to middle school, completing middle school and high school? So I didn't want to bypass that, because I heard you. And that is so important, which is, again, why our K2 and K5 foundation is so important for our students. So we got to be mindful of that. That is, and when we see the data as to where we are, we have to remember and give grace. And I'm hoping, and I heard you say you're going back and doing some extra, because those students, particularly those that are in 5th grade and that are in 6th grade, they really need that, because their kindergarten and 1st grade years were missed. So I just wanted to, again, thank you all, let you know that I heard that, and understand that we are really going to have to work harder in those spaces, because we have to help these kids to make sure that they are on track as they continue to progress through their school years. So thank you both again. All right, now moving on down to communications, petitions, and delegations.
Your request to address the Pontiac Board of Education for 3 minutes is granted, with your commitment that all comments will be delivered with courtesy and civility. Failure to do so will result in forfeiture of your allotted time. First, we have Ms. April Schierner, and Mr. Paul Sandy is next.
Good evening. My name is April Shearer, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Whitman Elementary. And I've been working for the district for 3 years. Just because I don't know any of you, and I know you don't know me, just some of my background is this is year 20 in education for me. And I've taught everything from kindergarten really to 8th grade. And prior to that, I've taught across 4 different states. And prior to that, I was a military instructor in the United States Air Force. And I moved here back home 3 years ago to be a teacher in Pontiac schools. And I chose that. I went to Owen Elementary at the original site before it was torn down. And I wanted to give back to this school district. So I would ask that you would consider that before I read my statement. You just kind of keep that in mind. In preparation for tonight, I talked to different teachers and staff at my school, and we work for a wonderful administrator, and we have a wonderful staff. But we, as a district at our school, employees, we are frustrated. We are tired. We are, currently working without this contract that has been brought up, I think, at every meeting that you have conducted. And we're going into the second year with, halfway through our school year without a contract. And the working conditions have crossed a line in some regards in some classrooms. I was personally affected this year. This has been resolved. But I was a teacher of 33 kindergartners. 33. These are our youngest and most vulnerable. We're trying to establish these reading abilities, these phonics, these basic skills. And with 33 children, some of which are rezoned to go to different Pontiac schools, we're being allowed to come over to the school and enter our classroom. We were maxed out. Now that situation has now been resolved, and we are very appreciative of that, and true and meaningful learning is taking place in our rooms. But a lot of this is not misunderstanding. It's a failure of communication, and a lot of the employees are feeling like this is a failure of leadership. We're stretched thin. We're beyond our capacity. Positions in the school district remain unfilled. We're asking for a conversation. We are asking to be treated as the professionals that you expect us to be. The toll on our mental and our physical health is real. Last year, I believe the district paid $84,000 for listening circles. Did you listen? We deserve that conversation. We deserve a fair contract. The kids deserve to have stability, and a high staff turnover is not providing these children that very thing. We would just ask that we stop delaying this, stop deflecting, and start fixing the situation at hand. Thank you.
He's coming. After Paul Sandy, there's Candace Ridley and Amanda Ziegler.
Okay, good evening. My name is Paul Sandy, and I am a teacher here at ITA, teaching social studies, as well as the vice president of the Teachers Union. This is day 196 with no contract for teachers, parapros, and secretaries. It's actually the 7th of the last 8 years that we have begun a school year with no contract. Today, I want to tell you a story of why the Pontiac teachers' pay scale is so unfair and needs badly to be fixed. A brand new teacher is hired into PSD with a bachelor's degree. They're excited to start their journey with the district, serving the Pontiac community. They're paid $47,000, a little bit more, which isn't bad. In fact, it's 8th out of 28 districts in Oakland County. The teacher has good times, they have bad times. They take work home with them. They use their own money for materials. They get a master's degree. They're burnt out, but stay for the kids. Just like me and so many of my colleagues, their life is made whole by the incredible students in Pontiac. By year 5, they make $55,000. This is already far behind most districts in Oakland County. In Avondale, they'd be making 61. In Bloomfield, 65. In Oak Park, 63. And in Ferndale, 62. By year 10, this teacher has started a family. They have more bills to pay. In order to feed their family, this teacher gets a second job. This teacher gives their all to the children, but the teacher is tired, dead tired. This teacher is starting to get health problems from all the stress. They love teaching the youth of Pontiac, but they wish they were feeling supported. They're making $65,000 in PSD. If they worked in Avondale, 81. If they worked in Bloomfield, 84. If they worked in Oak Park, 84. If they worked in Ferndale, 78. By year 15, this teacher is fully feeling the effects of the stress. They feel stuck. They love serving the community of Pontiac. They pour every ounce of life they can into this job to help the students, but they can't afford to be a teacher in Pontiac. Their salary is $74,000. If they were working in Avondale, they make $85,000. Bloomfield, $104,000. Oak Park, $99,000. And Ferndale, $95,000. Enough is enough, this teacher decides, as most do here in Pontiac, that they can't make a career teaching here, and they leave. Not because of the students, because they can't afford to be a teacher here in Pontiac. And the crushing thing is that our district gets more money per pupil than all of these other districts that I've listed. We need a fair contract to keep teachers here in Pontiac, to value those on the front lines helping the students. We need smaller class sizes. There is tons of research that says that these things help student achievement, student well-being, as well as create a healthy ecosystem for everyone. So please listen to the stories that teachers are saying and continue to give us a fair contract. Thank you.
Happy New Year. First of all, I'm asking for a financial review of the budget to prove the necessity of the dreadfully low offer presented to the unions. Because what was offered is woefully inadequate compared to the budget that was presented on 12/15/25. But I'm here tonight to talk about priorities, your priorities. You've budgeted $855,200 for yourselves this year, and you get paid $200 a meeting. You budgeted nearly $1 million for yourselves, but $0 towards staff raises. Your generous offer, 0.07%, about 2 cents on the dollar. It's almost poetic that pennies aren't even being made anymore, but apparently that's all we're worth to the district. So I want you to hear the stories of the people who teach our children. One educator said, "I'm at risk of losing my home because insurance went up and my pay can't keep pace. I don't know what I'm going to do." Another said, "I'm sharing clothes with my coworkers just to make it seem like I'm not wearing the same thing every day. It's embarrassing." Your teachers have to share clothes because they can't afford their own. My car broke down and I had to take a predatory payday loan just to get it running. It overheats and I can't afford to diagnose or repair it. I've been getting food from food pantries all year. Sometimes I'm lucky and the food's okay. Sometimes I'm not and the food has bugs in it. I don't know how much longer I can do this. I've had my water shut off. I've had my heat shut off. I have to juggle which bill to pay. Now rent is increasing and I can't afford it. I'm scared for my future. I have to donate plasma to provide for my children, despite having multiple certificates and degrees. These are not strangers. These are the people educating our children. This is what 6 months of being undervalued looks like. My prescriptions have increased in cost, my insurance has increased in cost, my deductibles have increased in cost, but my pay hasn't. I have to have insurance and I have to take medicines, but I shouldn't have to choose between my medicine and my electric bill. I never thought I'd have to live in poverty after going to school and getting a master's degree. I look at my friends that work in surrounding districts and I wonder how they can afford to live. Then I remember they get paid more than I do, even though we started teaching at the same time. I work 7 days a week, 5 days with students, 4 nights door dashing, and weekends working construction or landscaping depending upon the season. I'm exhausted all the time. I know my students aren't getting the teacher they deserve because I'm spread so thin, but I don't have a choice. My family isn't getting the best of me either. I live in a state of chronic stress and exhaustion. I don't know how much longer I can take this.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Ziegler, and I am a first grade teacher at the wonderful Owen Elementary, and I'm also the PEA secretary. I was at the last board meeting when staff members were asked to be patient, give grace, because we still do not have a contract. So tonight, I'm here to ask you something honestly. If you went 196 days without knowing what your future pay would look like, while trying to figure out how to keep the lights on, how to pay your bills, how to take care of your family, would you be patient? Would you be okay with just being told to wait? Many of your staff members are not okay. They are struggling. There are some educators that would have loved to be here tonight to talk to you all, but they're working a second job so they can afford to live. Others are silent because they're afraid. They're afraid of retaliation, afraid of being labeled difficult, afraid of discipline from administration. Being told over and over again to give grace hurts when we are the ones sacrificing the most. Grace does not pay our bills, patience does not reduce our stress, and waiting does not fix the reality we are living in every single day. This doesn't just hurt your staff, it hurts students. When our classrooms are overcrowded, our students lose. In the past, I have had more than 30 first graders in my classroom, all with different academic needs and emotional needs. Every single day I came to work and did as much as I could, but there were days that I walked out of my classroom knowing I didn't do enough because I did not have the support. I am one human being and I did not have the support to be able to give my children what they needed. Did they make growth? Of course they did, because I tried my best and I walked in every single day doing what I could. But those kids deserve more and their teacher deserved more support. High staff turnover, much of which is caused by low pay in this district, disrupts learning and stability for students. The lack of substitute means the teachers who stay are stretched beyond their limits. Every single day, we are giving up our planning time, covering other classrooms, or taking on more students. We are exhausted, and exhaustion only affects how we teach, and not in a good way. Please understand this, because it's been said time and time again that we just come up to this podium and complain. We are not just here to complain. We are here because we care about this district and our students, and we show up for our students every day, even when we're overwhelmed, underpaid, and unheard. All we are asking is that you match our commitment with action. Instead of telling us to be patient and give grace, do something. Ask the hard questions, hold leadership accountable. Help us create conditions where teachers can stay, thrive, and give students everything we deserve. We are doing everything we can. Please do the same. Thank you.
Scott Rutherford and Ebony Sims.
Good evening. My name is Scott Rutherford. I teach history at the high school. I would like to extend grace. So let me start now with complaining, okay? Because there's one thing this district has that is fantastic, and that's the kids. I love the students in this district. And I know I'm not the only one who loves the students in this district. When I started in this district, this is my 4th year teaching. I come to teaching this profession kind of late in life after having done some other things. And I'm teaching for one reason. It's not because I can't do anything else. I've done a lot of things, and I'll do other things again if I need to. Okay, but I came to teaching because I wanted to pass on something valuable to the young people in Pontiac. Okay? You've asked us to trust you, but you haven't earned that trust. When I started in this district, I was asked to wear a black shirt to show solidarity because there was a contract dispute. And I thought that was the most ridiculous, silly thing I'd ever been asked in my life as an adult. I couldn't fathom why you would ask an adult to do that. Well, this is my 4th year and I get it. I have worked more time without a contract than I have worked with one. Okay, from what I understand, this goes back further. 7 out of the last 8 years started without a contract? Come on, that's ridiculous. You're among the highest paid boards in the region. I have no problem with that. Those who serve well are worthy of double honor. But it doesn't sound like you've served well. I have 1 foot out. I do not intend to be here next year. The only reason I'm finishing this year is because the kids deserve it. Because I can make more driving an Uber. I do make more driving an Uber. If it looks like we're angry, it's because we're angry. And as Bill Clinton said before his election, it's the economy, stupid. It is the money, but it's more than that, it's the respect. It is disrespectful for you to close a meeting telling the teachers how much you appreciate us when you're not going to say it with flowers. Either put something behind it or don't say it. And don't ask us to trust you. You've not earned that trust. Matter of fact, not only do we not trust you, we distrust you. Do whatever you want with the other 20 seconds.
Good evening. I'm going to make this fast. Something is being passed out to the board members. It is a copy of my last 3 check stubs. Good evening. My name is Ebony Sims. I was born and raised in Pontiac, Michigan. I am 49 years old, and 29 of those years have been spent working in this district. I have entrusted 3 of my children here. This evening, I come to you as humble as I know how. I hear the word family. Let me repeat that, family. I remember when it used to feel and was like family. Those days are dead and gone, sad to say. We lost a colleague last week, and not only was she fighting for her life, she was fighting for a contract to be settled at work, a place where she was called family. Money is wasted on lawyers instead of sitting down with your so-called family and coming up with the best and fairest way to support our families. In 2012, we took a pay freeze, lost vacation time, holiday pay, and longevity. This present administration gave their self raises before a budget was even settled. My day starts at 5:30 a.m. and ends at 9 p.m. 6:30, I punch into Pontiac High, off at 2:30. 3 p.m., I punch into the middle school for Accent Pontiac, which is a great program, by the way. After I get off at 6:30, I DoorDash from 6:30 to 9 p.m. every day to make ends meet for me and my family. Ask me when I find the time to spend with my family. It is not asking too much to bring my current pay up to keep up with the raising inflation. Making $23.66 after 29 years of service is so disheartening to me. Teachers took a pay cut and freeze. This freeze was done to eliminate a deficit caused by central administration embezzlement. The results of this pay cut and freeze was the elimination of debt and the loss of very good teachers and parapros. Where is the loyalty of these sacrifices that we have made? Can anybody answer that question for me? And how many people in this room have over 10 years of service with Pontiac School District? They're not many. So a lot of you don't know the good, the bad, and the ugly of what we have been through. Right now, it is ugly. And I am in jeopardy of losing my home after 15 years. I'm appalled. My daughter will be a senior next year, and this is the worst year that I have struggled. And to hear that the board will be on a retreat Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, how much money is being spent on that? Please look out for your people who are here every day in the front line.
Marcus Kelly and Fred McBadden and Marcus Bowman.
I grew up here. I went to Pontiac Northern before it was called the High. We had some great teachers. Even after they bombed our school buses back in 1971, I don't know if y'all remember when the Ku Klux Klan bombed our school buses back in 1971. Or if y'all ever heard where David Duke said, if you want to control generations of people, control the education. I just sat here and listened to people talk about struggling to pay their bills and pay their rent, but are tasked with shaping our children's future. That is important. And congratulations, Brother Jackson, but I feel what Ms. Dooley said. We hiring people top heavy, but we have somebody who's running Uber, making $23 an hour at 19 years working at our school, educating our children, and we can't even take care of her. We're not giving our teachers what they need to be successful to shape our children's future. I'm here because I went to the high. I got a family that's there now. And they said, you know, I don't like the school. You got people walking around with ankle bracelets. We got Oakland County sheriffs walking through here. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no, it's. So I went there myself to see it. And show as hell, it was two little girls got into a fight in the lunchroom and they was escorted to the office by two sheriffs. So we are criminalizing children for normal child behavior. And being in there, I felt like being in a holding facility, a holding tank, getting ready to get shipped off to prison. Classroom to prison pipeline. And it's disheartening to see what my community has come to when we talk about our children. We're talking about our education. We're talking about our teachers. And so now, when I look at sheriffs in there, we think about where they came from, the 1850s Fugitive Slave Act, where we got the word law and order, which is now called public health and safety. And police was never meant to be social workers, but we got them in our schools. So now our children, it's hard for a child to dream if they faced with the constant nightmares of their reality. So I always tell people when I'm having these conversations that if you never walked in my shoes, don't tell me how to lace them. So we stand with our teachers and ask for contracts for our teachers. And we believe in care, not punishment. Thank you, my time is up. Dang it.
Jackson, welcome to the family. So of course you came into this. Happy New Year to everybody. Yeah, I still got my celebration on. So I'm gonna go on and start talking to some of you that use the word be patient. We gonna get this thing done. No, you are not, because the lawyers are doing exactly what they're supposed to do: procrastinate, make their money, and still, Mr. Kelly, make sure you talk about the 0.07%, because that's real. And just so you know, we just make these signs up for you guys to see. We are worth more than 2 cents. Now, I've been up here in this district for 27 years, well, 27 in February, but also a supervisor at Havenwick Hospital for 29. It's a damn shame when somebody got to work 2 full-time jobs just to survive. And even the ones who's working 2 and 3 jobs still come and give 110%. But today, the conversation started off talking about baby peace. That's a good thing. Then we started talking about other stuff. Yeah, we definitely needed a new assistant principal. Nothing against you, but we have been without a contract, as the vice president for the teachers said, 196 days. And you guys, every night in closing, I hear this statement: we hear you. We hear you. Tomorrow morning at 10, board members, and I know you guys can't do it, but I'm going to invite you anyway. Parapros is in contract negotiations tomorrow morning. I want you to come and see what you guys are paying for. Don't say, hey, you're more than invited. I'll buy donuts. I'll go to Avon. Tell me what flavor you want, and I'll take care of it. But I want you to come. And we had the same conversation. We're talking about language. You know how fast we can work on language? You change a word here, change it. It don't take 3 hours to change a language. But when you make it $150 to $250 an hour, hell, I'll procrastinate too. But they're robbing us. Your employee, she's right there. Dr. Leverett, please come in and tell the lawyers, get a deal done. That's all you got to do. They will obey. But if they're procrastinating, it's because they've been told to procrastinate.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. People at home, trustees, president, vice president. I'm here speaking on behalf of men in Pontiac. We had a great event this Saturday at the Crowfoot where we hosted Mike Duggan, former mayor of Detroit and gubernatorial candidate for the state. I'd like to have a special thank you to Tanisha Miller, Trustee Miller, and Trustee Dooley for coming out, Trustee Bowman as well for all the support, and for all those who supported us from afar for this event. We will have other gubernatorial candidates coming into Pontiac. It won't be February, but it will be March. But I also like to say this is a great time. I know the climate in here right now is a little uneasy, but this is the time right now for Pontiac to address things to the people who are going to lead this state. And when I say that, I mean, our leaders have to step up as well, meaning all of you, to build these relationships that we need so issues like this can be resolved, but we can have relationships not only to the state, but the federal government, because the next governor of this state will be over the education process as well, too. So it'll be good to have friends in the governor's office, as well as friends in the White House also. And this season in Pontiac, I want us to understand how important it is. I said this at City Council, and I'm gonna say it here because school board is a little bit softer than City Council, but you all are still elected officials. So I want you to understand the position that you hold and how important it is for the people, for these people back here. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for all the service and all the work that you do. But it's important for leaders to build relationships and put people before political parties this year for Pontiac. Pontiac has a lot of opportunity and a lot of potential to move forward, but we have to put people before political parties, meaning we have to build relationships. Relationships is what's going to help Pontiac. Relationships is what's going to bring finance. Relationships is what's going to give us opportunities to bridge gaps and connect with people that can do something for Pontiac instead of us getting overlooked. Rochester has their things together. Troy has their things together. Auburn Hills has their things together. Waterford has their things together. We have to get things together here for Pontiac, but we have to start by picking the candidates that's going to give Pontiac the best deal and that wants to build a partnership with Pontiac and not just run Pontiac or come to Pontiac when they want to vote. So I urge all of you in the community, across the city, those at home, start getting engaged when we invite these gubernatorial candidates from Senate to Congress to governor and eventually even for president. We want to let them know that Pontiac has value and Pontiac has a voice. We are the seat of Oakland County and we have to start letting everybody in the world know how important we are. Thank you and have a great night.
All right, thank you very much. Board comments, we'll start with Trustee Miller.
Good evening. I want to start with I was elected in November of 2024. So I cannot and will not take any responsibility for the actions that or the decisions made prior to me being elected. As the president and other trustees state, many decisions were made prior to my being elected. Happy New Year. Good evening. I want to thank everyone that came out tonight and all of you who have tuned in to view this board meeting. I remain in a quandary as to how this is a learning institution and teachers remain without contracts. I'm hopeful that most understand the direct correlation between the delivery of instruction and learning. Our teachers are the facilitators of this learning. And that's the learning that should be occurring. As I previously stated, I do welcome Mr. Jackson to the district. And the way the bearer was written, his contract began today. So that is indicative that this was already a done deal. It's dated January 12th, 2026, ending June 30th, 2026. I await to see what the prorated salary will be. The fact that HR did not already know what the prorated salary would be supports the imperativeness of a human resource director being hired immediately. I would like to be on record requesting that the human resources position continuously be posted. I did ask, were there any other candidates for the positions that were going outside of the district? I believe it's imperative that we begin to hire within. I want to be on record stating that I support our teachers. I retired in this district as a teacher. I remain a teacher. I'm committed in helping you reach and receive compensation. As always, thank you to all educational stakeholders that allow me to represent them. And always a special thank you to my 7,617 voters that put me in this seat. I continue to endeavor to oversee and provide, hopefully, direction to move this district in a way that we will support academic achievement, sustain academic progress and success, and come from being not such a successful district. So I say to teachers, thank you. Please continue to hang in there. We are working on your behalf, at least I am. I'm gonna speak for we're working on your behalf because I know how imperative it is for you guys to have a living wage that will allow you to direct your attention to the delivery of instruction. I often say part of our deficiency is because your mind is not totally on delivering the instruction because you're getting ready for your next job before you even leave the teaching position. And also you are worried about your own bills, how your family will live, how you'll get your medicine. And as the President Candace stated, she gave some personal testimonies. So I say, I, Trustee Jennifer Dooley, stand with you. I, Trustee Dooley, support you. I, Trustee Dooley, will do and stand with you to ensure that you get fair wages. Be encouraged. Please don't quit. To the gentleman, Mr. History teacher, give us a minute. We're working on it. Not literally, that's figuratively. That we are going to get you a contract because we know that this learning institution cannot be a learning institution without those persons that deliver instruction. With that, may God continue to bless you and have a good night.
Trustee Miller.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. All right. Thank you to whomever gave me the strawberry cupcakes. I'm going to eat them when oh, hey, thank you. I'm gonna eat them when I get home with some cookies and cream ice cream.
That is for the baby.
All right. I am entering 2026, having officially completed one full year elected into this role. It has been challenging, but deeply meaningful. I remain firmly committed to transparency, accountability, and student-centered decision-making. The relationships I've developed since transitioning into this position with the relationships with our students are lifelong memories that I hope that I can share with them for a long time to come. I want to extend sincere congratulations to our new mayor, Mike McGinnis, our new deputy mayor, Richard C., newly seated council members, returning council members, library board members, and everyone who has stepped into public service roles across our community. I look forward to collaborating with you. My belief is that strong schools help create strong neighborhoods and even a more vibrant city. My goal for Pontiac School District this year includes prioritizing student achievement and student success. Every agenda item, and especially every budget decision, should be grounded in one question: how does this help our students learn, grow, and thrive? I'll close with this. I know I've been pretty steadfast in advancing this district, and I know that my colleagues will say it takes time, and I understand that. And I know that Rome wasn't built in a day, but meaningful progress takes time, patience, and perseverance. I know that we can't build Rome in a day, but I like to lay a couple bricks, put some mortar on it. Is that called the stuff that go on top of bricks? Let's do something to start with our foundation. If we keep talking about it, years and years and years will pass, and the only people that will suffer from that will be our students. Intentional actions and focused decisions that builds the future our students deserve is one of my goals. It's my commitment to Pontiac School District. Thank you all, and I look forward to the work that we will continue to do together.
Thank you. Trustee Gross?
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for your comments. Because we're not there, so we don't know what's going on. We only be reported to. So to hear the other side, you have to put both sides together, because one side says something and the other side says the other. So it gives us the opportunity to understand what's not being said on what's being relayed by us. And we're not hearing that. So that gives us the opportunity to go back and discuss this. Yeah, and I can see you in the point. And yeah, I was the one that said, be patient, because it's all we have. And I will continue to say that. And whether you trust us or not, that's your decision. I don't know half of you. I just see you. So we've not established a relationship of trust yet. But there's those who I do know. And that's okay. But I'm glad to hear from you, because now we know what we need to continue to do, what we thought we were doing. So I'll leave it at that. I had the opportunity to be part of I'm one of the members of the readmittance committee, where we have students who have had issues in school, who have been suspended, expelled, and have petitioned us to come back to school. And they have to do so through this committee, and then once that's done, it's referred to the board. But this meeting on Friday kind of touched me, because although you hear it, but when you see it, how children are living in our community and the things that they're going through, and then they have to carry that to school. This case was one of the most extreme that I've ever seen, where a child, and I'm not going to say, the names or the parents' names, but who, first of all, is homeless and is going from place to place. And then to speak to this person and have them express how they truly feel. School wasn't as important to this family as we want it to be because of life's circumstances. But this person wanted to get back in school so bad because that was the most consistent thing that they had in their lives was school. But to see and hear from a child and a parent who are living the way they live, it puts everything in life in perspective. Life is not fair to everybody. And when it comes to a child, that's heartening. That hurts. And that touched me when I talked with this person and about their concerns and what they were going through and what they wanted. And they said they were going to do their best to stay in school because one, they missed it, and two, there's nothing out there for them. And the inconsistencies in their life has made it so difficult for them. But throughout all of that, his mom continued to do the best she can do, even with her physical disabilities and her inability to take care of him and his sister the way she wants to. So I say to all the parents in the community, whatever you're going through, and I know it's difficult, but this parent showed me that no matter what life is giving them, they're still working to their best ability to ensure that their children are in school. And to do that, it says something about their determination and their commitment. And I want our parents to know that we understand. But all we ask is that you do your best, because it's extremely important to the children to be part of something that is consistent, where people are concerned and people care. And this showed me that. So my focus will continue to be strongly for our children, but also for those who are in these children's lives. We got to do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Secretary Davis Smith.
Happy New Year, everyone. I just want to say that I really like the presentations from Owen and Alcott Elementary. And I love to hear about the family participation. That's one of the reasons I got on the board. I'm not a politician, but I was a parent in this district, and we didn't have many parents that was involved at the time when my children were here in this district. I'm also excited about the baby piece because when I was also a bus driver here for the district for several years, and my son was in school, and one of the concerns that the teachers had was the fact that some of their seniors was not going to their first and second hours because they had to get their siblings off to school. So I have been advocating for us to be able to have a daycare. I really want a daycare and a latchkey program for our students because I know that that's a challenge for parents. I actually worked for Cranbrook for 17 years so that I can be on the same schedule as my children as they went to school. And then I drove the bus so that I can make sure that I was involved in my son's he had a lot of them, extra curriculum activities that he had in this school district. And so now I'm a teacher, and I believe that I became a teacher by God because I wanted to I wanted to volunteer to drive the buses last year, I think it was, last year. And I wasn't able to. They said I wasn't able to volunteer to help with driving the buses last year. So there was someone who said, oh, we need bus drivers at our school. And I was like, I don't need a job. I own my bakery. And, but I ended up filling out an application. And so I started driving for them. But then I seen that they had a need also for for teachers, because there's shortage of teachers everywhere. So when I say I have 12 jobs, just like you guys do, I have 12 jobs. When people are at home with their families or they're in the bed, sleep, I'm up working, whether it's baking, whether it's reading my board packet, whether I'm doing someone's taxes. When I say I have about 12 jobs, I have about 12 jobs. And so I understand what you guys are going through. When I worked here as a school bus driver, I was on a 7-year freeze with you guys. And I stayed in the district, and I stayed in the district because the same reason you guys do is because I love the children. So when I say I understand what you guys are going through, I understand what you guys are going through, because I have to work those several jobs to pay my bills as well, and to make sure that my kids continue their education and to be able to help them as well. But I'm just praying that all of us, I'm excited about the new elected people from the city and the library as well. And I just pray that all of us can work together as one for the benefit of our children. This year, as Trustee Gross was saying, that we've seen a lot of conditions that our children were living in that we had no clue or understanding that they were. And that was just a couple, but I'm pretty sure that is a lot more than that. And I know a lot of you teachers that come in early to make sure that our kids are clean and fed. And I know you guys deal with their emotional and behavior issues before you can even teach. That's the same things that we deal with. I teach 32 kindergartners as well. That is how many I have right now. So I understand what you guys are going through, and I just hope that we all can stand together and try to make this resolve all of our issues together and move the district, because as long as I've been on the board, we have not handled our kids' curriculum, and that's what I'm waiting for, is us to be able to thrive in that capacity together. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Treasurer Terry.
Good evening. Welcome again to everyone. Happy New Year's for the ones that have not said Happy New Year's to. Good meeting tonight. A lot of information, good presentations. Once again, welcome, Mr. Jackson, to the Pontiac District family. So welcome. Looking forward to all the things you bring, your experience, your background, and everything else. So looking forward for that. Also want to say thank you for all the public comments, good and bad. We obviously take everything to heart here. At least I do. I know myself. A lot of things are personal. Career-wise, I totally understand. I've had my share of woes and ups and downs as well. Currently working 2 years now without any raises or anything. So, but the important thing to me is, I guess I'm still getting a check. So as long as I guess I get that check, I can continue to move forward. I'm gonna go back to, once again, as I mentioned last year, choices. We all got to make those choices. Sometimes they're hard, sometimes they're easy. But we all got to decide on what's best for us and what's best for our family. Change sometimes need to happen. But once again, that's a choice. So congratulations to all of the officials that got elected or sworn in this past weekend. Actually, that was New Year's Day, I want to say. Yes, I did miss that as I was spending time with my family. But congratulations to everyone, the new mayor, the current and new city council members as well. So congratulations. Looking forward to see what they bring also for this school, and definitely looking forward to working with them moving forward as a partner to see what all we can accomplish this year. Things have been challenging, but once again, it's a new year, 2026. Don't know if everybody has resolutions or not, but if not, it's never too late to start one. And let's continue to pull together, not separate us, and let's keep our focus on the prize, which is our students. So let's continue to educate them the best way we know. We know how we can, and then also, I'm just gonna continue to keep everyone in prayer. The district is struggling, but I know we're not the only district. They're struggling everywhere. Everywhere I look, prices are going up. Food's going up, utilities is going up, just our basic needs are going up. And keep our administration in prayer as well. The United States administration is there dictating a lot of the choices that we're going to have to make moving forward on, what options or what you can decide to do with your money that you got coming in. So on that note, I just want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone that's listening in as well. I hope you had a good New Year as well. And let's continue to push through 2026. Thank you.
Thank you. VP Bowman.
Not to repeat everything that's already been stated by my trustees. Congratulations to everyone who was elected in new positions and sworn in. I unfortunately missed it. I was on my leave and I'm back. So Happy New Year to everyone. As I sit here and I did listen to, as I read the names and listened to the statements, it may seem as if we don't care, that we're not vested, that we are just in it for the money. I don't, as a trustee, it's not enough money in it. I just to be honest, we're not getting giant checks weekly or anything like that. This is a service. We're providing a service because we love our community. I love my community. I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm thankful for those of you who choose to work in the Pontiac School District. I know that it may not be easy, and I do understand that the pay situation is not the greatest. I'm not sure how far a vote of appreciation or a thank you goes, but I appreciate you all, and I thank you for what you do. You can be anywhere else in the world, but you choose to be here in Pontiac, Michigan. It doesn't go unnoticed. I sit here and I do this because I love my community. I would like to see the city, the school district, the county, the community actively work together for betterment and change. We can't change anything if we don't know what's wrong. So you've expressed your concerns of what's wrong. So give us time to get it right. We're not ignoring you because whether you believe it or not, you are family. Welcome to our family. It's a bit dysfunctional, but that's just the nature of the beast. If we can all give one another grace, no, it doesn't feel good for you all to say, we only got 2 cents. In real life, do you honestly think that we sit here and think that that's what you're worth? No. Let's be honest about where we are in this thing. We are in a work in progress. This district didn't get here overnight, and it's not going to change overnight, but we're actively and willing to work with you all, to help you all, because this is our community. No, we, as board members, I'm sure each one of us probably, well, Trustee Dooley, I know you're retired, living it up and loving it. That's great. But just know that you all aren't taken for granted by any means. We're going to get this thing together, but we have to be solid, lockstep, working together. We're not sitting high, looking low. at our teachers, at our community. So just know that we're all in this and we will continue to make the steps and progress to get a fair contract to you all because you all deserve it. So just know that we're not sitting here just collecting checks and doing nothing. This is just like you all may feel, this sometimes is a thankless job. It's unfortunate, but this is where we are. But I thank you, whether you feel your pleas are falling on deaf ears, you're appreciated. The things that you all bring to this community, to our students, to the PSD family, it's appreciated. And I just want those of you all who may have lost loved ones in this past season, I'm not gonna say it gets easier. It softens over time. So I hope that we can continue to have a progressive, positive year and move forward collectively. Good night.
Thank you. One of the hardest parts about being a president is going last, and everything everybody else said is what I had on my notes to say. So I'm not going to just repeat verbatim everything everybody else said, but we are happy that you all came back. And we want to say welcome back to the 2026 year. We are hoping and looking forward to finishing strong. Thank you, as has been said, for the comments. We appreciate the honesty. We appreciate the compassion that you bring, that you share. We don't take for granted that you all are here. We understand, and we do, yes, we hear you, and we are doing what we need to do to make sure that that is seen. So I want to say and let you know again that we are doing what we need to do so that we can rectify things and we can make sure that you all have the contract that you're so deserving of. I want to also say happy 1-year anniversary to Trustee Miller and Trustee Dooley, and also to thank these trustees for their commitment to service. I want to offer my condolences to the family of Crystal Wilson Muhammad. She was a teacher at PMS Middle School, and our thoughts and our prayers are indeed with her, as well as the students and faculty over there at Pontiac Middle School. Our CTE program, in my opinion, it is the heart of, it's the secret sauce for our school district. The Baby Peace program, which was shared today, that is just one of several CTE programs that we have to offer for our students. We are committed to making sure that our students explore career pathways and that we equip them with what they need so that they can be successful beyond graduation. So this program with Baby Peace is just one of a few options that our students will have so that we can help put them on a pathway to success and so that they can be successful and productive within our community. So I say thanks again to Dr. Tomoko Wakabayashi and her team for consistently wanting to support the Pontiac School District. Congratulations, as they were stated, to our newly elected city government officials, Mayor McGinnis, Deputy C, and our city council members, Adrian Austin, Chris Jackson, and Regina Campbell. We look forward to working with you and also serving our families and students here in the Pontiac community. Our board retreat is this week, but I just want to offer a little clarification. When we say board retreat, it's not a retreat in the terms of you think us going away to some hot, warm place and having a good time. Our board retreat is a 3-day meeting which will take place right here in this building in a room where we have 3 days of discussing and working with our administration to hear what their successes have been, what their challenges are, and how we are moving this district forward. So again, board retreat does not mean we are really retreating.
Change the name.
So yeah, we can maybe come up with another name, but I just wanted to offer that because I did hear some comments as it relates to that. But again, I do thank all of you for coming back. Mr. Jackson, welcome. Definitely looking forward to your support for Principal Clark Franklin and just the students over at the high school having you in their building, in their presence. So again, I thank everybody for their commitment to serving, for the work that each of you do within this school district. It is my prayer that we will continue to move forward in a positive way, and that we, again, will do what's in the best interest for educating our students in this school district. So that is all that I have for tonight. So if I can get a
So
motion
moved.
to adjourn this meeting. So it sounds like it has been made by VP Bowman and supported by Trustee Dooley to adjourn the meeting. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes, yes. I'm sorry, yes.
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 Yes. The time is 8:40 PM. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.